engines roaring, feel the beat, Ryan and Jon can't be beat, on the Fastlane, so sleek, gotta rev up, hit the street, ooh yeah, Fastlane, all night, feel the speed, feel the light, join the ride, hold on tight.
And we're back in the fast lane, ladies and gentlemen, proudly brought to you by eBet, as well as Breitling and Sunland Private Wealth. John and myself, good to be with you in another episode, and it's been a very busy week, John, and we're going to talk a bit about that. Also, some exciting news in the eBet's world, some very special collaboration with Telkom that hits the airwaves now. In actual fact, it's shortly. As you're watching this, we should be live with Telkom. So huge congratulations to Willie and the eBet guys and girls. Well done. I'm going to chat to Willie coming up shortly because we want to find out a little bit about what's been in his driveway. He's been driving the X5 60i.
Yes.
We wanted to get him in the X7 60i, but we got him in the X5 60, and he's just come out of the X7 40i. So we're interested to hear back to back what they are like, and as an M5 owner, what they kind of feel like to drive. But let's talk the week that was. You've been in an MG, and if you've missed John's take on the MG, but you're in the most beautiful part of the world.
Misty Cliffs. I mean, it's one of the famous locations for filming. I mean, we see a lot of the big manufacturers from all over the world coming to film there, and that you don't get a better drive with the beautiful mountainside and that coastal. I mean, you know, when you're down there, that smell of the sea air, and it just runs along that whole section there to Scarborough.
Do they close the road off when you shoot?
Yeah. They got what they call a rolling lock off.
Oh, gotcha.
So they've got X amount of time, and they're actually very strict. So I've got to do my job properly up and back, and then turn around and then get the car off the road very quickly. Before, and also because unfortunately the Scarborough people
they do complain.
They get a little bit. I understand, but we're there very early. We do the sunrise, so generally we're done before anything. But it's just beautiful, and for us from our side of the world, it feels like another country. But spectacular there.
Have a look. This is Jon and the all new MG. John, that looked good. The conditions look spectacular. From the MG to the G63, it's my favorite car on earth. I love that vehicle. Have a look. In the fast lane this week, John, it is my ultimate car. I mean, really. You can say what you want. You can call it whatever you want to call it. But as far as I'm concerned, there's only one king of off-roading and SUVs. Zakoluntewagen here behind you. It's a very nice car.
The G-Unit.
My favorite car. Really it is. You've had the privilege of driving and you've seen it, the MG. Great drive, great entry-level vehicle, offers a lot of bang for your buck. But come on, I mean, there's something about this G-Wagon that every time I drive one, I just don't want to give the keys back. This one, believe it or not, I mean, if you've seen what they go for now, John, they're over 5 bar new. This one's 2799 at Roller Luxury Collection. Go speak to Brandon. And Brandon, I'm not bringing it back. I'm just letting you know that it's staying in the fast lane indefinitely. This G63, it's got a little click over 40,000 Ks on the clock, but it's fully spec'd. When you buy a car like this, you buy this car knowing that it's fully spec'd. Brandon's just put 4 brand new tires on it. It's had the windscreen done. It's got all the paint done. All the tires and rims have been done. This car is ready to go to a loving home. Maybe not this week. Don't phone him yet. Let me have it for one more week before I've got to return it. But John, what a vehicle.
One of my favorite parts of this car, and it's going to sound funny, is when you open and close the door. It's just got that awesome little click and that solid shut close,
proper.
And I just, every time we drive anywhere, I mean, we were in town this morning driving around, and it looks incredible. Everybody wants to see.
Correct. Yeah. And the noise from this V8, the rumble goes through you. I can't even believe that in the middle, it's got a button to make the exhaust louder. I'm like, Why would you need it louder? I love it.
Yes, the louder
please,
the better.
click it. So sorry to the neighborhood. I know that the neighborhood doesn't really like it when I have V8s at home, but I can't help myself. This is a beast of note. And like I said, at 2,799, I'll call it 2.8. Are you going to find a better vehicle for that kind of money? I don't think so. This is my car. I love it. If you're in the market for a G-Wagon, the G63 at Roller Luxury Collection. Speaking of Roller, Roller Motor City out in Somerset West, they've got incredible cars on the floor.
Yeah.
John and I are going to go explore some of those cars over the next couple of weeks, and we can't wait to take you with us on the journey. Oh, I don't want to give that back in a hurry.
And then white. I like it in white. You don't see a lot in white.
Pearlescent white. Now, let's get Willie on the line because, like I said, he's had a busy 2 weeks. Back-to-back, the X7 40i. Currently in his driveway, the X5 60i. To Matthew from BMW out in Constantiaberg, just a huge thanks to you as well, my friend. Willie Delport, hello, sir.
How's it going, guys?
How's it, Billy?
I am so
Fantastic, man.
interested to hear your perspective of driving that X560 because I would presume it would be a very quick car, very comfortable car, and it would tick all the boxes for you. How's it been?
Look, I've driven a couple of them now, so I personally own three different X5s.
Sure.
So this is the first one with a similar. It's the same engine actually, but detuned than the M5, right?
Sure.
And I don't know. I don't really enjoy it. I didn't think I'd say that, but I don't enjoy it. It's very jerky. It's a very hard ride. Look, it's a total animal. It's a beast. I don't think that motor can actually be contained. I think that's what it's about. It's meant for speed. It's meant for an M5. It's so strong.
You've had literally the X7 and X5 back to back. Could you feel the massive difference in a 7 to a 5?
Massively. It's worlds apart. Chalk and cheese. Worlds apart.
And to think is the previous the X7 you had was diesel. Am I right in saying that?
That was a diesel, and I must tell you the power delivery of that car was so much smoother. You know, it's like a real family car, real comfortable. But when you put your foot down. It's got this real beautiful growl to it. You would never say it's a diesel.
Yeah.
And it just goes. It goes and goes and goes. Whereas, you know, the 60s is like a pit bull in your bonnet that's trying to bite someone.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, really with the diesel, obviously with all that torque, it helps, you know, especially with it being a big vehicle and if you've got the whole family in. So it delivers the power a little bit better from the lower end.
Very, very smooth.
Yeah.
Equal delivery, you know, from zero all the way where it goes. And the car feels so comfortable with that diesel motor in it.
Yeah,
I just say that I thought that the V8 would be the petrol engine would be much smoother, but it isn't. You know, you just feel that racing pedigree in that motor. It's not meant for smoothness.
Listen, it's a tough thing to get you in a car that's going to tick the boxes, and I'll tell you why. Because exactly a week ago, Friday evening, John, myself, and Willie and Jacques. It was Jacques. Was with us as well. Jacques was with us as well. We took some of the Fastlane fleet out, some of Willie's cars out for a little bit of a drive, and I got to tell you something, being in the Raptor behind a Porsche Cayenne V8 behind a M5 all in white was one of the most spectacular convoys out in the Franschhoek area. But it was so nice to hear first of all that V8 from that Cayenne, and then in front of you Willie in that M5, which, let's face it, off the line it's going to take a lot to beat it. Willie, what did it look like in your rear view mirror when you look back and you realize that the two cars, the other part of the cars that you own, were behind you in the rear view mirror?
Oh, I never saw you guys.
I was in the worst position because I felt like a dad, you know. I had Willie flying in front, and then I had you behind, and I'm going, knobbly tires. I've never seen a Raptor going that fast. I'm thinking either Willie's going to end up in the Merlot or you behind me is going to end up in the Vineyard. So luckily both of you behaved yourselves. So that was good.
And there again, so when you're looking at ticking boxes, and if you're watching this and you're considering cars, allow us to at least be an opportunity for you to gauge what it is that you're looking for in terms of vehicles. I think Willie's got it well rounded in terms of the cars in the collection. So to add one, not even taking into consideration the fact that he's got a Range Rover, the big-bodied one up north, as a vehicle for Gauteng, it's tough to add to the collection when you've got that kind of collection. You know, you want something that's going to either replace or fill a gap. So if you look at an X7 or an X5, where in the current lineup of cars that you have is that gap found?
But
that's hard.
The problem is the excitement that those cars bring. How do you beat that?
How do you beat that?
And that's hard. You know,
I've got one. I can tell you, Willie. I'm going to throw a spanner in the works here because I spoke to obviously the guys at Mercedes Mercedes-Benz, they've got that GLS 63, which is a behemoth, right? And we know it's a behemoth. But importantly, how will Willie feel behind the wheel driving that? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get you behind the wheel, Willie, and we want to hear the next time that you and I chat on the Fastlane. We want your take on the GLS 63.
Can't wait for that,
I like
man.
that
I'm very
saying,
excited.
Willie
Always
behind
wanted
the
to.
wheel.
Willie's Villa. Willie's Villa. Willie, before we say goodbye, you and I, and this is something you might not know about the Fastlane, is that every one of us love our tech. We've been speaking about City and the fact that the S25 Ultra, by the way, guess what? It's now available. As you watch this podcast exclusively, Salou City, we're only supposed to release it next Friday on Valentine's Day. As a little Valentine's Day gift to you from Salou City, the S25 Ultra is now available.
Yes.
Villy and I have got our hands on the S25 Ultra. Villy, it's getting a high praise from everyone who's had the device. You and I are device verskrik is probably the best word to use. The S25 is a beast.
Absolutely so. I mean, this is the first. Look, I'm an iPhone user myself, and I've got a Samsung, and I really do enjoy using it. But this truly might be the first real iPhone killer. If there ever was such a thing, this might just be it. It's so tough. The battery gives you 9 hours of full screen time. It's apparently on another level, and it's been set. The software is in such a way that it's very friendly and similar to the iOS operating system. So it's the first time where an iPhone user, when he transitions, would feel welcome and familiar with the environment. It's very clever. They needed to do that. So iPhone, you better pick it up, man. You're going to lose a lot of customers with this.
Well, it's actually quite interesting. This morning, I transitioned to Apple. I actually ate one in...
he ate one for breakfast this morning.
It was amazing.
That's the only as close as John's going to get to Apple.
I love my Samsung.
I've got to say, for those of you who also love your tech, if you're thinking about upgrading to a bigger MacBook, at the moment I've got a 16. Villy converted me to the 16-inch. And let me tell you, it's one thing when inches are important in your world, and you love a lot of inches. Let me tell you something, don't be afraid of a 16-inch. And I really mean that. If you're a 14 or 15-inch user, there's a vast difference between that and a 16-inch MacBook Pro. Villy converted me. I'm using it. The only thing is, once you've gone 16, there's no going back. So Villy, a huge thanks for that. You're using the M4. I'm using the M3. Is there a big difference between the M4 and the M3?
Look, I have both. I have an M3 and I have an M4 with me at the moment, and I use them both. And I honestly, personal preference, I'd stick with the M3. I like the button configuration, especially for the enter button. I like better. But it's a very small. That's a very small difference.
Sure.
And you could get those M3s at such great deals now that the M4 is out.
I got a great deal.
It doesn't make sense financially. I mean, if you're price sensitive, it doesn't even make sense to buy the M4.
Absolutely. Well, I got the best deal ever. It's called the Villy deal. Villy, I go and I knock on his door and I go, hey, remember that computer that you're not using anymore? He goes, which one? I use all of them. I went, that one over there. The M3 16-inch.
Are we still talking? What are we talking? Cars? Laptops. Okay, M3 and M2. But here's something, because you guys are the tech guys. In terms of traveling, size, like space-wise, is it a big difference to put in your laptop bag?
It is. And actually, Villy's got the perfect cure for that. It's a 15-inch Air.
Look at that. Okay, so you would travel with something like that.
For your everyday daily user, right, there is probably nothing better than a 15-inch MacBook Air.
Sure,
that just does everything. It's got a massive screen. It's so light. It's the ultimate machine for your average user. You can't really beat it. But then, it's like having a 340, right? A 340 is such a well-rounded BMW car. Sure. It does everything it needs to do. On A45, Mercedes. It's beautiful cars. They do everything they do. But then it's not the C63 AMG or the M3 or the M4. You know what I'm saying, right? So when you take that 16-inch out, it's like, this is the real deal.
Yeah. That is incredible. By the way, Villy, myself, and John were at Ralph's house last night. Our dear friend Ralph Schumacher, who started Table 34, which is a charity organization that gets around 34 people around a table, breaking bread for a good cause. There's myself in that picture, Villy, and Ralph.
So what a very special past few months it's been. Table 34 is now officially up and running. It's a massive give back to the people of the Western Cape. Two very special friends, Etienne and Ralph. Guys, thank you so much. It's been incredible to have Jon and I here and more importantly to raise funds, and it's much needed funds for people in the Western Cape. It's a huge initiative. If you haven't heard of Table 34 and the amazing organizations it supports, it's coming your way soon. But to these beautiful people here right next to me,
Thank you very much. You're going to hear soon of it, I'm sure.
You're going to hear
Thanks to
soon of
Ryan.
it, and I promise you something. It starts with somebody wanting to give back. That spreads, it's contagious, and it's called Table 34. And importantly, from Jon and my side, it's these two beautiful human beings that make this happen for people in the Western Cape. So it's so proud to be here, and I'm so proud to say that they're my friends. So ladies and gents, watch this space, because Table 34 is doing big things in the Western Cape.
At Ralph and Etienne's place last night. What a great bash that was. I'm off in a couple of minutes. It is, and probably while you're watching this, I'm on my way to Leopard Creek, the Royal and Ancient African Amateurs taking place.
So
this is where I'll be this weekend. Look for updates on the socials. This is where we'll be. Wow. But Villy, we've got 1 week to go, my friend. You and I will be wheels up. London, here we come. The Fastlane coming to you live from London ahead of F175. We can't wait. Brought to you by eBet. We cannot wait to be there. We're taking a factory tour of Rolls-Royce, Aston Martin, and of course McLaren. Huge thanks to our friend Justin DeVaris and to John Whittle for setting up a factory tour for Villy and I. F175, we're going to see Mr. Worldwide Pitbull and watch Liverpool play Wolves. It's going to be an epic week. Catch all the action in the fast lane. A huge happy birthday today to Caprice. Happy 21st, Caprice. Everyone in the fast lane sending you a lovely way. Congratulations to John and Jill and to Bjorn as well on an incredible milestone. 21 years. Villy, you and I will chat again next week. We'll talk all things fast lane. Proudly brought to you by Villy and the incredible deal. By the way, Villy, congratulations on Telkom to you and Johnny. It's a massive accomplishment. The first time a network in the country has looked at and gone with a gaming platform like eBet. So, Villy, a huge congratulations.
Thank you so much, guys. Check us out. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be incredible. Follow the details. Sundown Private Wealth as well as Breitling Watches. We'll be back in the fast lane next week.
Engines roaring, feel the beat, Ryan and Jon can't be beat, on the fast lane. So sleek, gotta rev up, hit the street. Ooh.